Vols fans, we're definitely going bowling. It's definitely on the 30th of December. Uh, that and more. We'll talk about it.
If you're seeing this live, it is 9:16 in the PM on Thursday, December 8th, 2022, and I am your co-host, the Super Genius Wiley, and this is
Young
my
Brendan, as
sidekick,
always.
young Brandon, and we are here to discuss the ongoings in Vol land. Get your breath there, son.
Yeah. That's not water any longer. It's just straight vodka.
Hmm. Tonight, we'll also give a few comments. Tonight was the Home Depot Football Awards. On the winners, we will also discuss that abomination is going to be happening in New York this weekend. It's third time they fucked us. Third, three,
Ridiculous
three,
times.
three, 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 three.
That's
Um,
three.
that's three.
The bowling ball
We
grip.
we we stopped. We stopped giving it. I mean, it's no lube, no lube. Three straight up,
Nope.
no lube.
More like a collection of wood chips
I'm
and a chainsaw.
Anyway, there's plenty to be happy about. I'll start off. Congratulations, Jalen Hyatt. Your 2022 Bolitnikov winner was named this evening. So congratulations to Jalen, number 11. That was certainly deserved. I wish you would hang
He's the
around for.
man.
I wish you'd hang around for another year, but if you decide to go after the ball game, we completely understand. You're.
Touching on that, I haven't heard anything.
I think he's waiting. I mean, I think we're in a position where uh, Coach Heupel and the staff have generated enough fellowship and buy-in by those guys. You're not. We haven't heard of anybody opting out. And none of all, as far as we know, all the seniors that they're able to play, they're going to play.
Yeah,
Um,
that's.
and anybody that could be going to the NFL
I
has said
know
they're going.
Mikey likes that wherever you are, sir.
Yeah. And while we have lost 7 players in the portal. The only one, honestly, that really hurt, that really just kind of, I was like, oh man, I don't want to see that kid go. Was Laneith Whitehead. I mean, I really, he was a very hard worker, and I was sorry that he didn't get to see the field this year. Hopefully, wherever he decides to go, um,
Yeah.
he'll get the time that he richly deserves. And who knows, he may end up staying in Knoxville. You never know.
He
We
may.
did pick up a tight end in the portal. Um, a
We
graduate
did.
transfer from Cal Davis, whose name is, I'll tell you here in a second.
Slow your roll there, Pard.
All right.
Slow your roll.
I shall.
That is our friend McClellan Castles.
Castles. And
which sounds like an Irish tourist attraction.
yeah, or yeah, McAllen, yeah, okay, that would that or Scotch actually,
Nah,
yeah, probably more
could
Scotch.
be.
Anyway, this is a he's a kid. He's a pretty highly thought of prospect. He um, really good size, 6'5", 240.
I
Healthy,
like his size for
yeah.
sure.
Um, I
If
read a scout I read a scouting report on him. He was pretty he's pretty highly thought of among FCS circles. So hopefully, he'll be able to come in and contribute,
yeah,
especially as a blocker because we
well, if
need
yeah,
that's the one thing we're going to miss from Princeton fan is that blocking ability.
if all he does is block, he is a large human being,
Yes,
and I think
he'll be worth his weight in gold. He
yeah,
may have to add another 10 to
a
15
little
pounds
bit more weight. Yeah,
to play at the SEC level, but he's definitely got the height. He's got the height. He's got the length, and so um, we will definitely see where he's going from there. We also picked up um, a graduate transfer kicker, Charles Campbell from Indiana, who is perfect. It was in his career at Indiana was perfect on all of his extra point attempts. He did miss a few field goals, but most of your best kickers have done
um,
that at one time or another.
I've heard a lot of good things about this kid. That he's really good.
Yep.
I don't follow Indiana football for
Well,
obvious reasons.
Since Michael Penix left for Washington, who does?
Uh,
Let's be honest. Yeah. Um, and then we picked up a third commitment just the other day, a monster offensive lineman from Hutchinson, Kansas, whose name I cannot remember. I just remember the guy was like 6'3", 350. There he is. No, Larry Johnson the third.
Look at this guy.
I mean, just absolute hot 6'6". Yeah, yeah. So
That's what you
absolute
want
just
him to look
hoss.
like right there.
Yeah. Um, who I think our main competition for him was Houston, but I mean, if that size translates to anything on the line, we that's something we desperately desperately need to
Absolutely.
find. I mean, we have been told that um, tight end is our biggest area of need, not even defensive backfield. I still think we need to pick up some defensive
Oh
backfield help
yeah, we've got to get
in the portal.
um, which
I think
I've heard that we're looking at some of these guys that are out there in the portal that are very highly sought after
yeah,
for that defensive backfield, which doesn't make me anything but happy because we're that's definitely a need.
yeah. And we have had our first. I won't call him a major commitment because he's barely a three. Mazio Bennett out of Greenville, South Carolina High School, um, decommitted um, from Tennessee earlier today. I'm not exactly hurt by it. I mean, he's like he's we're still at the top. We're still at the top of his list. But Golish was his main recruiter, um,
Yeah,
so we've been kind of waiting for shoes to start dropping there. But
right
I
here,
think
this kid Sylvester Smith uh, is a safety, and Alabama had to be looking at him. That's where he's from.
well,
Four
yeah,
stars.
and their DB's coach and associate defense coordinator is now on Coach Prime staff at Colorado. So
Right.
um, honestly, I don't think if he had, I think it, I don't if he hadn't have left, I don't think Saban would have kept him. Given that was a major weakness in their defense this year. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
pointed that out
It was shown to be a
pretty bluntly.
weakness. It
Yeah.
was
So I mean,
proven.
we've got some good people coming in. Obviously, I mean we're back in the top 10 in recruiting.
Yep.
Nico obviously is the bluest of the blue chips in that in the recruiting class coming in.
I got a
Yeah,
question for you.
sure.
All right. So, Nico Yamalavea,
Yamale Ava, yeah.
Yamaleava. I don't think either one of us is correct. Um,
I think I'm closer, but anyway.
is number two in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Arch Manning is an actual number one recruit, or is it simply because of his name that he gets that?
I think Arch Manning's very talented.
Okay.
I think the jury is very much out on number one, number two recruits, given the success of quarterbacks who weren't. I mean, Steptoe Baggins, what was maybe a 3-star coming out of high school, maybe. Um, walk on. Baker Mayfield, walk on. Okay, so that is still there's a lot to be said. A lot to be said about system. Um, is Arch going to play in Sark's system? We'll see. It's definitely more of a pro style West Coast rely heavy on the run type of thing.
Right.
Um, whereas we're a stretch the boundaries. Throw it all over throw it all over the field and keep you honest with the run type offense. Even though the numbers don't bear that out, we run it almost as often as we throw it. So it just depends. I don't know the answer to that question. Does the Manning name carry a lot of weight? Yeah, hell, of course it does. Do I think he's the number one quarterback in the country just because of the Manning name? No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that shallow. There's a degree. There's a definite lack of depth there, considering how many like number one and number two recruits have just fallen off the face of the earth.
Right.
But I don't think it's a I don't think um,
I
it's
don't
a
know. I've
one that
seen
one factor alone is I don't think it's going to be. Um,
yeah. Well, I mean, of course he's got to be good. I just haven't seen the plays I've seen from this Nico kid are 1000%. I can lead you down the field, get you to the end zone. Um, as a matter of fact, he lost his state championship because of the damn kicker. He marched them, I want to say, like 85 yards.
yeah.
Don't quote me out there in Internetville. Um, and lost the game because the kicker couldn't make the kick. I've seen Nico put it on a dime from far, far away, so to speak. Uh, I'm dying to see him work with our quarterbacks coach, our head coach, and see what this kid can do. And I'm gonna be honest. One thing I'd love to see him do is put on some weight.
Yeah, he's way too skinny.
Because
That's
for
true.
God's sakes, he looks like they would snap him in half, got out there on the field.
Jaden Daniels has the same problem.
Yeah,
He reminds
yeah,
me of Jaden. I mean, Jaden Daniels. When Jaden Daniels first started playing for Herm Edwards at Arizona State, he looked like a stiff wind would blow him over.
yeah.
I mean, he just
Well, that's what
yeah.
I don't know how tall Nico is, but he looks taller because
I think
he
he's like
looks
six
like a
three. I think he's like
stick
six.
out there.
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3". I mean,
Yeah.
they'll put the weight on him. They'll get him at the training table and start shoveling it in.
That was always my critique of Tyler Bray. That if he was going to be
Besides, he was
that,
a dick.
well, besides that he was a complete and utter fucking asshole, um, he never had enough weight on him. And I always wanted to see what he could do if he weighed a little more and get out there and maybe stiff arm somebody or, you know, plant
Sneak
one
one.
in when he runs with that ball,
Yeah.
you know. But never happened, and nothing ever became Mr. Bray.
Well, I mean, if he hangs out with Joe will teach him how to eat. There's one thing Joe has the weight. Joe's what 6'5", 240. He's 20 pounds heavier than me.
Something like that. Joe's a big old kid. He's
Joe's
a
a big dude.
monster.
Bazooka Joe.
Um, that's what you want to see, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to this Heisman talk thing and the
Okay.
bullshit that it is.
So your AP SEC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. You are the SEC Coaches Player of the Year. You are number 2 in the country in passer rating, and you don't make the final list for Heisman.
It's bullshit.
I mean,
And those
let's
numbers
okay.
don't reflect.
There. We have had 4 occasions where we've had serious Heisman contenders. Only one of those Heisman contenders did not get at least minorly screwed, and that's Heath Schuler. He should have lost in 93 to Charlie Ward, and he should have lost to Charlie. Charlie Ward was the better player that year. I mean, just it was the crowning achievement
Yeah.
of his football career. He never played another down after that season.
Um,
Um, I can make an argument, and most Vols fans want to hang me from a fucking yard arm for saying this, but I can make an argument for Charles Woodson. I can. I can make an argument for Charles Woodson.
well, he's a game changer. I mean,
Yeah, he is. He is.
it's that simple.
But you cannot make an argument for me that Stetson Bennett belongs in that room in New York on Friday night. I don't give a damn. I mean, yes, let's give credit where credit is due. He has led. He has lost one game in 2 years. He's gotten him to the playoffs, won the national title last year, and he's probably going to win another one this year. Credit where credit is due. He's a good leader.
Bravo for all that.
He's a good leader. Is he the best
Um,
player? Is he one of the best players in the country?
no.
Absolutely not.
Well, here's what I was
I'm
about to
sorry.
say.
Go ahead.
There's that guy. I can't think of his name, but he's always. Some people are an asshole and they take that on as their personality.
You mean Coach Lou? Uncle
No,
Lou?
not Uncle Lou.
No, Uncle Lou.
He works for that chair at the bar place. If you catch my meaning. No free shout outs to them.
No.
And he made this point.
He needs to shut up and eat some more fucking pizza. How about that?
There you go.
Here.
I don't mind Dave as much as some of these assholes that work for him.
Well, okay. So we're not talking about Prez. We're not talking about Prez. Apologies, Prez.
No. He's a Southern man.
Okay.
Because he's from Mississippi.
Well,
and he said this. and I agree with it. And this leads to all sorts of avenues regarding the Heisman. It's not a team award.
No,
One.
one player.
So that means if your ass has managed a football team for 2 years, I don't think you deserve the damn trophy. Number two, not a team award. There's more than a fucking quarterback on a football team. Sometimes it's that big old defensive back. Sometimes it's the defensive tackle. Sometimes it's a damn running back.
Or the damn tight
Sometimes it's a
end.
wide receiver. Um, if we're being completely honest, this whole Heisman thing's kind of bullshit.
Well, I mean, I look like I said, I can live with Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward deserved it. I can Charles Woodson. I got over Charles Woodson. Not in my lifetime. To this day, I still find it completely idiotic that Johnny Majors beat lost to Paul Hornung in 1958.
Yeah, well, that was, I
Paul Hornung
mean,
was the best player on the worst period Notre Dame team, Notre Dame period team ever period. 1958, they went 2-9, and you can't convince me that he wasn't betting on games then. You can't convince me there wasn't no point shaving going on there.
well,
And he
you
lose
know, you got to do
and he
something.
beat because he plays for Notre fucking Dame. He gets the benefit of the doubt.
Which
But
leads me to this. Oh,
he's the most undeserving Heisman winner until this year. There you go. I said it.
there you go.
Whoever 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 whoever
So,
whoever, whoever wins it this year, and Caleb Williams is a great player. He's a favorite. He's probably going to win it. He won the Maxwell Award tonight. He's probably going to win it. Um, but
but it's USC, dude. They're not.
without Hooker deserved to be in that room. He earned his spot.
I think so, and I think what makes it just like when Derrick Henry got injured last year and was leading the nation in touchdowns
Or
well
rushing.
after,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, rushing touchdowns. Sorry,
You know,
well after he was out for the season. You got to give some credit to that. It's, I mean, that's amazing in my opinion. Dude got injured, what, like October 31st?
no, later than that. You mean Hook?
No, no, no. Derrick
Oh,
Henry.
oh, when he broke his foot.
Yeah. I think it was
Uh,
October
I can't
31st.
remember honestly. That's NFL.
Yeah.
I pay enough attention to notice, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But it,
Um,
I
so
just
anyway, Caleb Williams, Notre Dame, USC, Ohio State, Michigan to a degree. Although Michigan's a hell of a football team this year. And if everything pans out like it should, it's going to be Michigan and Georgia against
yeah.
each other.
I don't think Michigan beat Georgia.
I don't either, but
I don't think
I
Michigan.
think
There's
those are
no
the
way
best
they
two.
yeah. I think so too. I'll be really surprised if TCU can mount and TCU's defense can stop Michigan's run game.
Yeah. But
It's
those
going to road grade.
teams are media darlings. If they
Yeah,
do halfway decent at all, they're way up there in the polls.
and it's
So
the
if you're the quarterback of one of those teams
you're going to
and
get
you,
noticed.
yeah,
It's not. Um, I mean, it's just it's bizarre. It's the most bizarre Heisman year since 80 89. No, earlier than that. 88 was the year Andre Ware won
Right.
at Houston. He beat out the guy who should have won. It was Major Harris, who was the quarterback at West Virginia. The thing that was so bad about Andre Ware was Houston was on probation.
Yeah.
Nobody ever saw him fucking play. The only thing that they saw were the stats he was putting up. And the stats because he's playing in the run and shoot. Of course he's gonna run. He's gonna throw for 600 yards every game. He has to.
Yeah.
They don't play any defense. I mean, they didn't play any defense to go with that offense. They had to put up 70. They had to put up 70 every game because the team was going to get 50. So that one was really bad. I mean, he should never been eligible to get it in the first place, but he ended up winning. Nobody saw him play. Major Harris was out there leading. He Hooker reminds me a lot of Major Harris in the way he led that team almost to the
Yeah.
promised land. Max Duggan won the Davy O'Brien Award tonight. I mean, he's a tough kid. Um, I don't think he's going to survive Michigan. I think Michigan's D line's going to eat him alive.
Um. Well, like I've been saying for the past month, they were ripe for a loss. That loss happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did they
Yeah,
lose
their
against
their
a
luck
pretty
their
good
luck was going to run
team?
out.
Yeah.
Their luck was going to
Um.
run out at some point.
They lost against a pretty decent team, but eh, eh,
They're this
you're
year's
talking
Cincinnati.
like the best high school team versus a
Yeah,
college juggernaut.
yeah. They're this
um,
year's version of Cincinnati.
yeah, that fair.
Best
Um,
best analogy I can come up
I
with.
do like him. I think he's got a. He might have a future. Um, I like his size. You can tell right there he's a pretty big kid.
TCU quarterbacks have not fared well in the NFL. Um,
No.
and ask Andy Dalton about that sometime. Um,
Hey, but when the Saints came a calling,
yeah, he managed to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, or defeat from the jaws of victory on that one. But man, seriously, but
um, yeah, but I like him. Where do you? We've
I didn't
talked
see
about
enough.
two.
I
Give
didn't
me a
see an
ranking for these two so far. You
I
like
didn't see
Williams
an
over Duggan?
I got to go Williams because I mean I just saw more. There was more. I saw more on the field
Yeah,
product. I mean, I
it's
just did not see
USC.
enough of Duggan to be able to say yes, he is definitively better than Caleb Williams.
And I just don't think there's not a lot to attribute to him
No,
winning those football games. This guy,
I was never overly impressed with CJ Stroud. Um,
me either. Um, me
I never,
either.
I never, I never saw. I mean, I always thought in the Big Ten, the Blake Corum was the guy.
Yeah,
Right? He was the
that's
one putting.
fair.
He was the one putting up the numbers. I mean, I just never. I never really just I never saw it. You know, I'll leave it at
Um,
that.
and this is CBS, so don't at me, Georgia fans. They didn't even mention Stetson Bennett.
He doesn't
Um,
deserve to be mentioned.
Not really, does he?
No.
They like to do this in threes. So that was one, two, and here's three. So I guess Mr. Bennett the fourth is fourth.
I mean, here's I mean, here's honestly what in a perfect world would I like to see. I'd like to see Stetson finish fifth and Hooker finish fourth. So, so big, you
I
know.
wouldn't be against that. Um,
I mean, I said it on Facebook last
I,
week.
I, you don't win all these SEC awards and not be a
It's
great
yeah, I
quarterback.
don't I just
And
I'm be well. I would say I don't get it, but I'm beyond trying to get it.
yeah.
I would not piss on the downtown athletic club if it were on fire.
Well, and look at what we just talked about, those media darling football teams. Who are the in two of the top three?
Which the irony of that is who was one of the biggest media darlings all season. Okay,
Our boy.
there you go.
Yeah, I don't get that. Um,
I just you know, all I know is I ain't gonna be watching it.
so, all right, of these four, because we'll throw Stetson in there. He is an SEC product after all, even though he's.
I'd probably go. I honestly don't give a damn. And almost like Caleb Williams is going to win it just because he won the Maxwell tonight.
I,
That's usually a big indicator. But then again, Peyton won the Maxwell and the Davy O'Brien, and still didn't win the Heisman. So you know, there it is.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Although I would put CJ Stroud second
yeah, okay. I can see that. I can't
over
over
that.
over Duggan.
Um,
Yeah,
Stetson third, maybe the Duggan guy fourth.
fourth. Well, we're about 32 minutes in. We said we'd go 30 tonight, so we
Yeah,
probably ought to move on a little bit. Just talk a little Vols basketball. The uh, our our boys were a. Let's see. Let me go back. Were and 80 was it 80-46 last night?
84-49, my
84 to
friend.
49 last night over Eastern Kentucky. Kind of a sluggish first half. They only had 11 point. They only had a 32-21 lead in the after the first half, but managed to really start turning it on. We've got four of our five starters all
That's your number seven
in
ranked
double figure.
Tennessee
We're ranked, yeah,
Vols.
it's ranked
Vols
seventh.
basketball.
We've got um, four of our five starters are in double figures in scoring.
Yeah.
Julian Phillips, the freshman diaper dandy, um, is leading the way with 12.2 points per game. Vescovy, who is in second, who will probably end up being the leading scorer this year, is banged up. He's got a gimpy shoulder at the moment. He hurt it during against the McNeese State game. Is averaging 12
You
points a
think
game.
Vescovi over Zakai Ziegler?
Yeah, yeah. I think Zakai is
Although Ziegler's more of an inside cut to the basketball kind of guy.
well. But he's also. I think he does well when he's the first guy off the bench. I think he does his best work off the bench. I think Key is going to end up being point guard. Um, I think that's where
Okay.
he's going to end up. He'll end up taking that. Josiah Triple J was back on the court against both Alcorn
Triple
State
J.
and against Eastern Kentucky. Looking good, moving well. Not shooting the ball quite yet, but that offense is not really. His defense is what they really have him out there for.
Right.
Plasvich is doing a really good job with his rebounding. Um, he probably it would be nice if he could average a couple more points a game. Um, had a really good game against.
I don't know if you caught on to this,
Yep.
uh, but when we lost that first game, Our first loss of the season.
to Colorado. Yes.
Boy, they gave us hell. They gave us hell. You know how
Well,
many games we've lost this season?
I mean, it's so
I mean, league
but
play hadn't started yet,
but it was a loss. It was a loss. But it was basically the same old shit that had gotten us in trouble.
yeah.
We got cold from three. We kept chucking it. We didn't work the perimeter like we would. And I mean that's the one thing I'm really kind of happy to see. You're seeing a lot more shots from 15 feet, from 12 to 15 feet in.
That's nice.
Comwa's got a good jumper. Phillips has a good jumper. I mean, Key's going to chuck it from the bleachers, and that's fine.
Right.
Vescovi's going to shoot threes, but it's the guy. It's those guys who are willing to drive, go to the paint, take the hits. Um, and then as long as we keep playing defense, we still got probably the best defensive team, at
I
least in the
agree.
SEC, if not the country. So
I think I would say top three in the country.
yeah, I mean,
Did,
the closest other than Colorado losing to Colorado, the closest
right.
games are the ones that we've had are the ones that we're supposed to have. I mean we beat USC in overtime in Atlantis, and then
We
we
beat
beat Kansas
the
74-60.
former national
Yeah.
champion,
So
Kansas Jayhawks.
I think the results are pretty clear. I had a colleague say, "Well, they're the worst seven team I've ever seen." I'm like, I don't see it. I just don't. Um, I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out again. We got a tough test coming up. The SEC Big Ten Challenge against Maryland this
Yeah.
weekend. It's gonna be on. This game's gonna be on Fox Sports 1. I think at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So we'll see. I don't know that Vescovi's going to play. I think Vescovi should probably
I
hold out
think he
until
will
conference.
not play from what I've
Yeah,
read.
yeah. He's got a sprained left shoulder, which is his shooting shoulder.
Right.
So and he hurt during against in the Mid-East State game. So so I think they're going to hold him out, which I think is probably a smart idea because
Yeah.
you've got some guys who are giving us some quality minutes to really. I mean,
Yeah.
Mayshak is coming along very, 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 very. Jamal Mayshak is coming on very, very, very well. Key is starting to round in the form. Kamwa is really, really hitting the boards, those 12 feet in jumpers. Adu's really good off the bench.
What was Jefferson's out for the season, which you don't want to see anybody go out for the season like that. Well, what was his injury? What happened to him? I just
I
can't remember at all. Like,
Jefferson.
was it an ACL, MCL?
I think it was an ACL. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's what they're looking at.
Um, Other than that, 7 in a row, baby.
Yeah.
If we're anything like last year, you're not going to come to our house and win a basketball game.
No.
Looking right at you, Kentucky. Other basketball news: Lady Vols lost Tamari Key with blood clots, the same injury that Trey Smith was out a little while for, but he came back, which I thought was strange. But with all the running back and forth you do in basketball, I'm sure it's harder on a basketball player than it is a football player.
Yeah.
What do they say? There's like 8 minutes of actual action in a football game, something like that. You're running up and down that court all game long. So I could see where one would be more serious in another sport.
Yeah, and it's and then we still don't have I don't know that Rakia Jackson's ever going to see the court again for us. There's something that's gone on there that it's not an injury. It is definitely a coach's decision, and she's out for the foreseeable future. So I
Yeah.
mean that's a shame because she was probably the highest touted youngster that we had coming in.
Hey, we got some bots commenting.
But
Sexfine.biz. Hot damn, we've made it, son. Find yourself a hot girl here. Heart. Find yourself a hot girl here. Find yourself a hot girl here.
we have crabs.
It does. I am starting to itch just reading those texts.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so there's that.
Well, my friend,
One last thing, and we'll be out of here.
what do we have for our weird Vols item of the week?
The weird balls item. Once again, not too weird. Was offered up to me on Reddit. I liked it. Let me share the page again. Like, I'm not sure what's not to like about the sweet lighter.
I mean,
I don't love that dude's tattoo. Sorry, pal.
whatever
Um,
that is.
yeah, whoever that is.
I couldn't decide if it was the
Uh,
tattoo or the lighter that was the weird item.
the lighter is the
Yeah.
item.
Yes.
Is that Smokey's face on his leg?
Probably. Yeah.
I see two eyeballs.
That would be my
Um,
guess.
thank you to user Foul Cans from Reddit. Shout out to you. I dig it. I had a Zippo lighter for years, and pretty nice when the damn thing doesn't go out. And you're trying to light something.
Hmm.
Uh, hopefully, it's one of those stogies after you beat Bama.
Yeah, y'all have fun with that. All right. Well,
Right.
so we will have um, more news upcoming in the coming weeks. Our shows are going to be shorter. We're going to be focusing more and more on basketball and baseball as
Yeah.
as the winter turns into spring. We will definitely spend some time in recruiting. Um, keep an eye out for the live streamed Field of Streams Christmas party coming to a
That
platform
will
near
be the
you
next time we see you,
in the
folks.
future. Most likely
Sometime
next week
middle next week, Monday, Tuesday,
when the Secret Santa shit gets where it's supposed to be.
when the triple S gets where it's
Hmm.
supposed to be.
Yep. But
Well, y'all
anyway,
have a Merry Christmas.
stay dry if you're in Tennessee. It's raining like piss pouring out of a boot. But otherwise, take care. Go Vols.
We're out. Go Vols.